Welcome again to the FHS podcast. It's such a pleasure to be back. Today with me, I have Jonathan Jackson, the founder of Lordship Group. Jonathan, let me just give you a little bit of intro about Jonathan. Jonathan is a Kenyan-born real estate developer whose work spans across Europe and Africa with a career rooted in design, development, and urban transformation. After growing Lordship Foundation business in Central Europe, he returned to Kenya to focus on high-impact, high-quality developments, most notably 88 Nairobi, which is set to become one of sub-Saharan Africa's tallest and most luxurious residential towers, reshaping the skyline and redefining high-end living in Nairobi. Beyond real estate, Jonathan, you also are deeply engaged in community-led transformation through the Jonathan Jackson Foundation, which focuses on empowering vulnerable youth and women with skills, enterprise opportunities, and social impact initiatives in Kenya's informal settlements, reflecting your belief in inclusive growth alongside commercial progress. Jonathan, it's such a pleasure having you here today with me. Welcome.
Thank you, Marina.
What did I miss in my introduction? What would you like to add?
As you said, I'm the chairman of the Lordship Group. I started in Central Europe over 30 years ago. I've been building a foundation in design-led development and disciplined execution since then. I then returned to Kenya now 12 years ago with a clear mission to prove we here in Kenya, because I'm a Kenyan as well as English, we can here build the same standards in Kenya as in Europe, and to raise the benchmark for quality, lifestyle, long-term value. And so projects like my projects like 88 Nairobi and Karen Hills reflect that focus. And through the Jonathan Jackson Foundation, which you are aware of, I've also been working on inclusive growth. So that's creating skills and enterprise opportunities. So development benefits more people.
It seems that you have created in this, I'd say few years, just an incredible ecosystem. But I'll start with the latest one, the 88 Nairobi. It's not just tall, it's a symbol of a new type of urban luxury in Africa, I'd say. What inspired you to build this project, and how you see the shifting investor and resident perception of Nairobi's real estate potential within this project?
Okay, I mean, 88 Nairobi started with with personal conviction because in Kenya, I wanted to show we can build to the same standard as Europe. And it's not just about height, it's about proving world-class execution, prime location, exceptional build quality, and in 88 with incredible views. And we built it all to a 5-star hotel style luxury and all the amenities you'd find in a 5-star hotel. So with a target to complete high quality, I think it shifts perceptions because we're finding investors and residents see Nairobi and will see Nairobi as a city where premium real estate can be delivered credibly and owned proudly, both for living and for investment. And that's both for people in Kenya, investors in Kenya, but also for diaspora and foreign investors.
Jonathan, I just want to go a step back. We're talking because we know what 88 Nairobi is, but would you just give us, just for the audience as well, a little bit more information about when it started, the project, and what is it exactly?
So 88 Nairobi is the tallest high-end residential building in Africa as of today. I'm sure someone will build a taller one in the future. But as of today, we are the tallest high-end residential building. And we've designed it, as I said, to a 5-star hotel standards. And it's all residential. We have 4 types of residential, going from executive plus, sky suites and penthouses. And the sky suites and penthouses are to the same quality and size and amenities and everything you would expect in Europe. So we built the whole building to European standards and to American standards for structure, so it can stand any earthquake. And we built it to UN standards of security.
And 88 stands for the address, or it stands for the number of apartments?
So 88, the building, we say the building named itself because in the original concept design, the architect, we have a garden on each side of the tower, and the architect had drawn the footpath in the shape of an 8 on each garden. And so we sat there and we saw the 2 8s and we said, it's called 88.
Okay, makes sense. So across your developments, from luxury residences to mixed-use communities like Karen Hills you mentioned initially, what patterns do you see in demand, in capital flow, and also investor interest with Kenya and the wider region?
The biggest pattern is that buyers have become really quality-led and trust-led. People want lifestyle and certainty. They want a great location. They obviously want superb design. They want strong construction and long-term management. With a developer, of course, with a good track record. And we're seeing this really developing at the moment. Capital is also more selective. It follows projects that can demonstrate delivery, governance, and clear value proposition. In Kenya, the demand is real, but the market is increasingly getting more sophisticated, more mature, and it rewards those who execute to a genuinely global standard.
And do you see demand coming from local buyers, international, or is it really split 50-50?
It's predominantly all Kenyan-led, both local and diaspora. So particularly off-plan, we're seeing diaspora leading the way. Now we are getting near to completion, and completion will be in May this year. We're seeing a lot of the local buyers now convinced and assured that we are going to complete, and because there's been a history of failures on other projects in Nairobi with developers in Nairobi, but now they're very cautious, which is understandable. But now they see 88 coming to a conclusion. We are getting a lot more local Kenyans also buying.
This is so interesting that you actually first get the diaspora, and then when you're close to completion, you actually see the local market, even though you would expect to be in a different way. But, congratulations, because the local market obviously showed you also the trust that, you offered to them initially. But still, I have to say that I have a feeling that a lot of global capital still views Africa as a frontier risk. So from your perspective, what needs to change? Is it the infrastructure? Is it the policy, the exits, the investment product depth? How can Africa attract more institutional hospitality and real estate capital?
For institutional capital, the key word is predictability. And that's everywhere, but really needs to be in Africa too. Infrastructure matters. But confidence comes from consistent policy, clear approvals, clean title systems, and enforceable contracts. The second piece is investment packaging, more depth in real estate, products, platforms that institutions can buy into easily. So when you combine predictability and investable structures, global capital doesn't need to be convinced Africa is the future. It can actually deploy at scale.
And do you see this changing?
It's changing. For sure it's changing. As developers are creating a more confidence and more a complete package which is investable, It is definitely bringing more investors outside of Kenya certainly into Kenya.
And since you've built both businesses in Europe and Africa, two very different markets, we have to say, how has your background and experience in both shaped the way that you approach opportunities now, the risk, as well as long-term value today?
Well, Europe taught me discipline. It taught me process, compliance, and building for durability. Africa has taught me resilience, how to solve constraints and still deliver. So today my approach is a blend. I'm very optimistic about the opportunity, but very strict on execution and risk management. In real estate, long-term value comes from doing the basics exceptionally well. Planning, governance, quality, and delivery. Delivery is not so easy in Kenya. There's a lot of constraints, but that's why it's really taught me resilience. I have said to my team from the very beginning, I don't mind if it costs me more, and it has cost me a lot more. I don't mind if it's going to be delayed, and it has been delayed. But I really want to make sure our quality is the best in Kenya and to European standards, because that's what will last for a long time, and that's what investors really want to see.
And how long it has been delayed?
We've had a variety of delays, but in this, on the construction side, we've had about a year's delay.
Now let's go back a little bit to your foundation. With the Jonathan Jackson Foundation, you're tackling social challenges alongside commercial development. How do you balance the profit goals with impact goals? And what do you learn about creating sustainable change through both lenses of your business?
Thank you. Well, I see profit and impact as sort of connected. Commercial development creates jobs and skills through the supply chain. And the foundation, my foundation, Jonathan Jackson Foundation, goes directly into the communities. It builds opportunity where it's needed most. We've engaged with over 4,000 youth in the Nairobi communities, and we've helped to develop over 400 businesses. So the lessons for me is that sustainable change is practical. We need to do skill training. We need to do enterprise support. We do mentorship to develop real pathways to income, not just charity.
What I would say listening to you is that you really developed the patience throughout these years, as well as just being really, I wouldn't say strict, but focused on what your end goal is. Now, looking ahead over the next 3 to 5 years, maybe, what will define the success of Nairobi's property market? What do you think? And Africa's more broadly as well.
Success is a more mature, investable market, if that's how we define it for the for the real estate market. So we need better planning, we need stronger infrastructure, more professional property management, clearer investment routes for both local and international capital. Societally, success is that development translates into opportunities, skills, jobs, and business for people in the communities within Nairobi. And for me personally, it's a legacy, proving that Kenya can build at the highest level, and we can create skills and growth for our Kenyan teams, so that capability stays here in Kenya.
What is your personal goal or what is your personal next project? You know, you built, so now we're looking at 88 Nairobi, which is the tallest building in Africa. So what's next?
My goal is simple. It's to build legacy projects that Kenya can be proud of, and build capability in our Kenyan teams so that, as I said, so that skills can stay here in Kenya. At the moment, I use professionals from all over the world, but my Kenyan team, it's amazing how they have learned so fast and so well, because building a 47-story structure, 88 Nairobi, is not an easy project to build. You really need skill and you need experience. I'm optimistic about Nairobi in Africa because the fundamentals are strong. Urbanization, ambition, a rising demand for quality. For investors, the opportunity is real if you choose the right partners and focus on execution. And for the next generation, my message is set global standard, deliver consistently, and use success to expand opportunity for others.
Jonathan, do you have someone you admire when you were younger who you would look up to and say, you know, this is where I want to go?
Yeah, my father.
Well, I have to say that I'm sure that your father has been very proud of you, because what you have achieved is very remarkable, and really congratulations on that. Thank you so much for joining this interview.
Thank you too. I much appreciate it.
And we're looking forward to welcoming you to FHS Africa end of March as one of our speakers. Is there anything that also you would maybe like to share regarding the FHS? How you've been participating in years now, and how do you feel there? What do you think that it's a benefit just joining the event?
FHS is a great event where you can interact with people you know, because it's very hard if you know a lot of people. It's hard to meet everybody. So, of course, meeting a lot of people you know in one short time is very efficient and effective. And, of course, you get to meet new people as well and new opportunities. So FHS is a great place for linking and a great place for development.
Thank you so much. Jonathan, I hope that maybe this year you'll meet someone who's going to bring you another project that's going to be your next one. Thank you so much once again. It was such a pleasure talking to you, and I'm really looking forward to seeing you soon in Nairobi.
Great. Thank you, Marina. Very nice to meet you. Thank you very much.